pulled us up this way. Okay guys, I have one of those stories you tell your family, your grandkids of lots of snow and getting stuck. So my wife and I, we went to Walmart to get some things we needed. We went to get some Chick-fil-A, and we just knew we weren't going to be able to come back up this road right here. So we thought, hey, what if we come up our neighbor's road, which would be that way. And I have not actually gone up that street in a long time, so I forgot how steep that road was. I thought it was a lot flatter, and I thought, hey, we could just cut across their yard, our yard, and then park where I normally do. That's when I got stuck. Their road was not as icy as this, but it was basically like this, with I guess some underlying ice, and I couldn't get up. Wheels were spinning, ABS was turning on, just basically locked up. And our wonderful, beautiful Tennessee neighbors basically had to take their Jeep and basically tow us back up to our yard. So there's the Jeep, our neighbor's Jeep, and he pulled us up this way, unhooked, and then went back. That's where he parks. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Mitch from We in Tennessee. So as you can see, that car ride was a little bit scary. It's always scary when you're driving and you lose control of the car, even momentarily. And so thankfully, again, to our wonderful neighbors who pulled us out, and we have not had any issues since then. I think we just got smarter and stayed away from the lanes that were icy and just went more towards the snow where we could get better traction. So we're doing okay ever since that incident. Now I'm going to go ahead and take you on a couple of car rides. The first one's going to be through the beautiful downtown Maryville area. It's going to just be beautiful because I've never seen it with snow. The last time it snowed, we didn't get a chance to go downtown. And so this is really special for me to show you guys that, particularly that area, but the surrounding areas as well. I'm going to also take you through the Alcoa area just to see again how beautiful it is with all the snow. Okay, we are on the old Knoxville Highway. There's the McDonald's. We are headed, I believe we're headed southeast. And again, the goal is to take you through downtown Maryville. But this is just a really beautiful part of town. Usually on a normal day, this road would be packed, but again, because of the weather, there's not too many folks out. There's that tobacco place I was talking to you about, a drive-through tobacco place. For those of you that know a lot about Maryville, pretty soon we'll be passing Richie Cream. Probably the best donuts in Maryville. I'm going to make sure I don't miss it. Over there to the left, when we first got to Maryville, there were a lot of baseball fields over there, Little League baseball fields, and I thought that was the location of Maryville Little League, and I guess not. In fact, I think they're tearing it down right now. There's Richie Cream. Wow, that just made me want a donut really bad. Okay, so we're going through kind of the business district. Lots of auto places, lots of fix-up places. There'll be a couple, definitely churches. You guys know about Tennessee and churches. But a lot of this is just fixing up things. A lot of auto places, a lot of detailing places, tires. Look at that church over there to the right. Beautiful church. Again, a church on every corner. There's another one on the left. If you guys remember me talking about Gunnies, it's a gun shop where I got fingerprinted. It's going to be coming up on the left. That was the place that really, over there, right where that white truck was. It really surprised me because I didn't know there was a firing range underneath the store. So when I heard the pow pow, I was like, what is that? Oh, I mean, it was definitely muffled, so I didn't get too freaked out. But over there to the right, you see that sign that has all of the Maryville High School state championships on it. I was like, whenever has sports been like on a street sign? I thought that was pretty cool. So if you guys don't, did you forget that Maryville and Alcoa have the most football state championships out of any high school in the state of Tennessee? And I'm sad to report that Alcoa does have more than we do. Oh well. Okay, so there's a food city. I believe the Hardee's that I had my volunteer burgers over there to the right. There's that Dollar General. There's the Hardee's that I had my volunteer burger. At this light here where this car's turning, that's the way I would go to get to my school. But thankfully I'm not going to my school today. So we are going through more of the business district. This part of town would have more of the like lawnmower places, glass, more business type areas. Up to the left, you're going to have another donut place. I think it's Donut Palace. There's a bookstore. And pretty soon we're going to get to one of the few roundabouts. You know, I take that back. I haven't driven enough to really count how many we have. It seems like I always encounter a new roundabout. There's the Donut Palace. I have gotten better at roundabouts. Finally feel comfortable, like knowing when to go, when not to go. But people definitely go when they're not supposed to go. Okay, another church up there ahead. The snow is just beautiful. Okay, we are getting closer now to the downtown area. I get a little nostalgic when I get to this point because when we first moved here to Maryville, we ended up leaving our things in a storage facility. And I think we had 3 different storage units. One of them was over here to the left, AAA. One of them was over there to the left. This is a really cool bridge. I like this. No train goes over this. It's just a bridge. And then if you go to the right, we had 2 of them. Let's see, we haven't gotten to the road yet. Oh, over to the left here is Affordable Auto Care. Really, really good place. We're over here to the right. Our other 2 storage units were over there to the right. Thankfully, we don't go to those storage units anymore. Whew. They are very pricey when you're just paying, by the month and you have 3 of them. Man, we're so glad we got rid of those. Okay, so we got to Washington Street. You can never tell if it's street, avenue, boulevard. You know what I noticed? That we don't have boulevards here in Tennessee for some reason. It's either avenue or road. Okay, so we are ready to go through downtown Maryville in snow. I was a little freaked out here. There's a little bit of a hill, and I didn't want to be on ice and try to spin out. If you'll notice, I was creeping up a little bit just to keep my wheels going. I guess the snow and ice just did a doozy on my psyche. I was getting all scared probably over nothing, but you always got to be prepared. I don't want to be one of those overconfident, yeah, I can handle this, and end up, always want to be overly cautious, and then if nothing happens, then we're okay. All right, green light, let's go. That's a interesting mural. So before we get there, just a little fact that we had a bank robbery maybe a couple of months ago, the BBC over here to the left. Every law enforcement officer was called to that bank robbery. Shocked a lot of people. They're like, man, Maryville police take this stuff seriously. Every single officer was sent to that bank robbery. That's how you know Maryville takes its safety and citizens very seriously. This is really cool just because, again, I had never seen downtown with snow. Last day after Christmas, we never ventured out to the downtown area, so it was just really neat to see. Over there to the right is one of those historical markers. It's going to say that Sam Houston enlisted. I'm going to have to look. When you're driving, you can't really read the whole sign, but I know I saw Sam Houston enlisted. I'm not sure if this, was the actual area, but I just thought that was pretty interesting. Over there to the left was the parking lot that I stopped at maybe 3 videos ago when I showed you the Christmas decorations of downtown. So what we're going to do is we're going to be coming up on Capitol. Not sure what, I don't know if it's being utilized at this moment, but I know downtown is very popular. We have Bella, is like a Italian place. Capitol. There's a like an ice cream sundae parlor that I want to go to. Never been to before. We're going to be heading up. Let's see, the Maryville Fire Department. The courthouse is going to be to the left. I'm going to be hanging a right here, coming up to the next light. If I was going to Maryville High School, I'd go straight, but I'm going to be going right up at this light. This would be Lamar Jackson Parkway. So right now, where you see these cars going straight, that's where I would follow them to go to the high school. But I'm heading right. I'm going to be heading west on Lamar Alexander Parkway. So there's not a ton of things to see on this part of the road. We're definitely going to hit up a Target and some more restaurants coming up pretty soon, but nothing nothing mind-blowing. There is a very old cemetery coming up to the right. Right, let's see. It might be after this house. No, I think we passed it already. But you can tell the tombstones are really old looking. There's the AAA insurance that I was shocked. Gave me a quote from California price. I'm like, we are out of here. If you're wondering, our car insurance is Farm Bureau. Another church. Okay, so the Target is going to come up on the right. Aubrey's is a restaurant. It's going to be coming up over here on the right. Jersey Mike's would be on the right. There's a Starbucks over there. There's a Shoney's coming up here. Yeah, we're not completely thrilled with Shoney's, but if you like it, there it is. And I hope you enjoyed this part of downtown Maryville. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up to 1.5 times just because I had to drive so slow and I don't want this to take forever. So don't think that I'm speeding through all of these ice and snowy places. I just sped the video up so you wouldn't have to spend a half an hour on this drive. I'm going to go ahead and just show you how it looked leaving the driveway, and then I'm going to kind of cut to the audio of my wife and I kind of freaking out going down this hill.
At least on this side so it has traction. Yes. A little slippery, but we got this. We got this.
Okay, so that was the scary part, and as you can see, the road was pretty well paved. You'll get to some areas where you're seeing that, hey, they didn't quite take care of that very well. But I think it's because of the shade. I think it might be just because it might have, the snow or ice might have fallen and accumulated more in that area. But to be honest with you, I was quite surprised how well this road had been, I guess, taken care of. Because again, I thought this was outside of the city limits, but I'm just hoping that the county might have stepped in and said, hey, let's help these people out, because this road really is traveled quite often. And if you're wondering, this is metal settlements. But look how beautiful it is, and look how much snow is still on my hood, even after brushing off a lot of it too. I think you guys can remember from a picture I took how much snow was actually on my hood. Whew. But luckily I was able to move a lot of it, but man, there still is a lot of snow on that hood. So this is just a gorgeous drive down Middle Settlements. You're going to come up to a part here where we just love this. There's just so much open space, and again, that's the thing that just drew us to Tennessee. It's just so much open space. The houses in this part of Maryville, they're just not backed up against each other. They're not, you can't reach your hand out your window and pass the mayonnaise to somebody in another house. There's just so much space available. We did get a little nervous coming up to this intersection because There just seemed to be a lot of ice all over the place, and you don't necessarily want to stop too. You don't want to stop and give your wheels a chance to get hung up in the ice or snow, but um, it's just real nice area right here. Over to the left is where the school bus kids will wait in the mornings, and I feel so bad for them because they're out there in some really cold weather, sometimes in the rain. This is just a really gorgeous part of town, though. Um, if you notice in a little bit, we're going to come up to the railroad tracks, and that's where, again, that beautiful rail bridge is. That's just so cool. You don't see a lot of these around California anymore, so it's just really neat. Had to take the railroad tracks. You could see how a lot of snow was accumulated right there. And there's just some gorgeous homes down this stretch. This one over here to the left, if it was not on the main highway and if it was $100,000, we would snatch it up in a heartbeat. You know, real estate around Maryville, Alcoa is definitely through the roof. We're just waiting for prices to come back down to normal if that ever happens. Again, those of you that have seen my other videos, to the left is Bent Tree. For those of you that have seen other videos, straight ahead is Denso. We had to, you can see how some of the turns, you still have to go over some snow and ice. That car right there was eventually towed out. We saw that car a few days later, and we saw the tow truck guy come and pick that up. But you can see here that it was plowed. All the snow is to the middle and to the sides. Again, guys, I'm not driving that fast. I just sped this video up so it wouldn't take forever. This was the first day out of driving. And so we just had to take it easy, take it slow. I'm sorry, this was the second day out. We had already had the ice mishap already, and so this would be day 2. Denso would be to the right. The part that you saw was actually the back of Denso. So if we had made a right at that last stoplight, we would have actually gone to the front of Denso. But you know, they have different entrances. So there's Clover Ridge to the left again. Now with just a whole lot of snow. There's the apartment, lots of apartment buildings. And so, you know, we understand that people have different needs, people have different budgets. And so, you know, if your budget doesn't call for a house, your desires don't call for a big yard, then people are going to go for the apartments, which I totally get. Just a gorgeous morning, but I was too scared. You know, I didn't want to, I was going to make a left right there. But I didn't want to go over that snow and ice, so I was just going to head a different direction. So we're heading up to the Pretzel. First Watch is a breakfast place in this shopping area. We have yet to know if it's open or not. Okay, we call this the Pretzel just because the roads intertwine so much. So those cars were just headed the way I came. If I go straight here, I can end up going to, I can make a right and I'd head to downtown Maryville, but I'm going to come up, once this light turns, I'm going to actually turn left. And I'm going to go up the 129. That would take me to Knoxville, the Tyson McGee Airport, if I even go that far. So again, I actually head to work by making a right there, but I'm going to make a left. And so we're heading down the 129 again. Over to the right is Olive Garden, Chili's, O'Charlie's. If you guys remember that was Restaurant Row that I had taken you before. So now again to the left would be Lowe's, Walmart. To the right would be, as we're coming up, Cracker Barrel. Man, there are people dedicated to Cracker Barrel. There are people there when it is snowing, ice. People don't care. They're gonna go get their Cracker Barrel. Up here is Aldi. If I make a left here, I can go to Aldi or Walmart. Over to the right was again the Cracker Barrel, the McAllister's, the Nothing Bundt Cake. So you can see how quick, we can get to things. So we can enjoy the country living and be able to enjoy all the amenities once it calls, once we have that need. Actually, more wants than anything. So as we head straight here, definitely would take me to the Tyson McGee Airport. If I kept going, that would take me straight into Knoxville. This is actually how we get to the 40. When we go to visit my wife's parents, we will take this and hook up with the 40, and that's just a straight shot. It would also take us to Sevierville. So when we went to Dollywood, this is the way we went. We're going to pass right under the Alcoa Bridge. Over to the right, they still got a Christmas tree up. Over to the right would be more restaurants. They have Texas Roadhouse. Lots of, there's O'Charlie's over here. There's lots of fast food places. Okay, so this again is the 129. What I'm going to do is actually get off, and I'm going to be taking, not sure when East Hunt becomes a different road, but I'm going to be going to Hunt Road. Not sure if it's going to be east at the point that I get off. Ooh, had to be careful over here on the left. There was a lot of snow. Don't think they plowed the whole thing. Over to the right, ton of hotels for those of you that would visit. Obviously, they placed them right near the airport. If I kept going straight, it would have kept me going on the 129, but I'm getting off right here. If I actually wanted to catch a flight, I would head straight right at this light here. But I'm going to be making a right going over the bridge. So when we had to pick up my son who had caught a flight, we went straight right there. And that would take you to the terminal, your arrivals and departures. Gorgeous day. What a difference this day made from Monday when we had just tons of snow. Okay, so we are headed, if you look on a map, we are very close to Springbrook Park. We're very close to Springbrook Church. Springbrook is a very popular name in the Alcoa area over here. This is where you got to be careful. This is where it's a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. And let me tell you, nobody goes 30 miles an hour. And the police like to hang over here on the left, like through these trees, and catch people. But on a day like today, I am definitely going 30 or less. I just, even though the roads look clear, I just didn't want to chance it. You know, in the shadows, you can still have black ice. I just didn't want to chance it. And again, if you forgot, I'm speeding this video up so it just looks like I'm going fast. What's interesting is once we come up to the railroad tracks, there is a historical sign and it's going to say Hunt Field. And I looked it up. I'm like, wait, is that a Civil War like field? And it actually ended up being a baseball field. I mean, the field is no longer there, but I believe it was a field that was popular. I believe it was a minor league field that was very popular back in the 50s, I want to say 50s or 60s. Right up here, let me see if, right, hold on, the sign, did I pass the sign yet? Man, this video is going so fast I didn't know if I saw the sign or not. Anyway, to the right was the location of the hunt field. I'm not sure if you can look in the distance, but the Smokies would be on the horizon there. This house on the left I really like too. I was quite surprised how many people were just out and about. You know, I guess Tennessee folks say, hey, no snow and ice is going to keep us home. I mean, a lot of folks did stay home, but a lot of folks were out too. Had to be careful at this bridge. I've always heard that bridges freeze over faster than roads do. So as we continue on this road, we will be hitting the old Knoxville Highway pretty soon. All it does is if I kept going, when I get up to this light, if I keep going, um, it gets me onto the highway that, you know, we would use to get to Knoxville. Over here to the left, we have Food Lion, McDonald's. So great little trip right here. I hope you enjoyed this section of town. Just beautiful snowy views.